I want to show you some pointers on two-point perspective. Now, two-point perspective is a little bit more advanced. First, you should master one-point perspective before you try two-point. Two-point perspective uses two vanishing points. So what I'm going to do on my piece of paper is I'm going to draw a horizon line. Horizon line separates the sky from the land. Now, I'm showing you one technique. You do not have to do this technique. You can kind of make your own image, but I'm going to show you a two-point perspective with boxes, and then you can turn it to a city, you can turn them into presents. It's up to you. Next thing I'm going to do is on my horizon line, I'm going to draw two vanishing points. The trick is you want to make sure those vanishing points are as spread out as you can on your piece of paper, and they have to be small, and they have to be on the vanishing point. On the horizon line. Then I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to do some of those ruler tips I showed you before, where my fingers are spread apart and they're in the middle and they're not pointing out, and I'm going to draw a vertical line. Now, the bigger you make this vertical line, the bigger your box is going to be. So there's my vertical line. I'm going to pretend that there's a point at the top and a point at the bottom. You do not have to draw those points, but that's just to help you. And then I'm going to turn my paper because that helps me. I'm going to connect the point at the top to both vanishing points, and I'm going to connect the point at the bottom to both vanishing points. So what I do is I line up my ruler to both dots before I draw, and that helps me make a straight line. And then I'm going to do it to this side too. Kind of looks like a kite when your building is over top your vanishing point. I don't want my building to look like it goes on forever, so I'm going to make another vertical line. Now, I'm going to use this line to line up my ruler, and then I'm just going to slide it over and draw a vertical line that touches my two diagonal lines I made. And same thing here. I'm going to line this up to be vertical, and I'm going to slide it over. The more you slide it, the wider your building. And then my next step for this one is I'm going to erase any of the extra diagonal lines that come out. I'm not erasing my horizon line quite yet. I am going to erase my horizon line inside my building because my building is not see-through. So just to show you what this picture looks like right now, I have a vertical line. This is my middle line that I started with, and this is my edge line. And the top and the bottom both point to vanishing points, to both vanishing points like this. So that's a two-point perspective box, but that box is on my horizon line. It gets a little trickier when it's above or below it. So right now I'm going to draw one below it. I'm going to draw a vertical line. I'm going to put an imaginary dot at the top and an imaginary dot at the bottom of my vertical line. This is going to be my center edge, this edge here. I'm going to connect the top and the bottom to this vanishing point and the other vanishing point. Now, I know I have a lot to erase, so I'm not going to draw it all the way, just so I have less to erase. And I'm going to do it to this side too. So that one points to that vanishing point, and it points to that vanishing point. To the vanishing point all the way down here. I'm not basing it off the corners here. I'm basing it off my vanishing point. Then I'm going to take my ruler, line it up to my middle edge, slide it over because I want it to be vertical. And I'm going to draw a vertical line here. Then I'm going to line it back up and slide it over. And I'm going to erase anything extra that's stuck past it. Now, something looks like it's missing. Let me show you what it looks like nice and clear. Something is missing. I hope you can figure out what is missing off this box or building or present. It's the top of it. The top is missing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect this new corner right here to my other vanishing point. Boop. And I'm going to connect this corner here to this vanishing point. And where they touch, they make a back corner. So it's going to look like this. And then I just erase anything extra. And that's how to do one below the horizon line. The same thing applies to above it. So I have a vertical line. I connect the top and bottom to both vanishing points. I'm not drawing it all the way because I know that I'm going to have to just erase it anyway. All right, I'm going to line this up so I make sure that my lines are straight. Slide it over, line it back up, slide it over again. I'm going to outline it just so you can see it nice and clear, but you don't have to do the outlining until the very end, if you even outline at all. I have a little bit of extra line on my left and my right sides that I can erase. And from this one, because it's above my horizon line, I need to draw the bottom of it. So in order to draw the bottom, I'm going to connect this corner to the opposite vanishing point all the way over here. And I'm going to draw this corner to this vanishing point all the way over here. And then you can erase your extra. Just like that. So that's pretty neat how to do the boxes above and below. On the horizon line, you're not going to see the top or the bottom. Below it, you're going to see the top, and above it, you're going to see the bottom. This is eye level horizon line. That's why you don't see the top or the bottom. If you hold maybe a tissue box in front of your face, that's your eye level. That's the horizon line. You won't see the top or the bottom. If you want to add things like windows or doors or decorations, depending on what you're making, the idea is still the same. So sides are still straight up and down, but the top and the bottom of your windows and doors or decorations still have to point to that vanishing point. So on this one, I could draw my top and bottom first if you want to see that. Top and bottom. The closer it gets to that horizon line, the straighter it's going to be. And then I'm going to make sure these lines are perfectly vertical. And then I'll obviously have extra to erase, and that's okay. So here's my door. An extra to erase. If you draw it just as a rectangle, it won't make sense. So I'm going to show you a wrong one here. So a wrong one would be making an actual rectangle. That does not make sense at all. The bottom and top have to point to the vanishing point, and it's pointing to the vanishing point that that wall is on. So this wall right here would point to that vanishing point. So what I should have done is measured the top and the bottom. The bottom's already pointing to the vanishing point, but the top now should also point, so it would look like this. That makes more sense. All right, those are a couple tidbits on 2-point perspective.